Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very late night update for Warzone, and it's specifically revolving around weapons tuning. And as far as the weapon tuning that they did here, they didn't really touch much on the Vanguard weapons, but they were more so nerfing a bunch of the Black Ops Cold War weapons so that they weren't going to be meta weapons anymore. Now, I don't know if they did enough. I haven't tested them or anything, but I've read through the patch notes, and some that were very good, EM2, OTS, weapons like that got fairly substantial nerfs so that weapons like the Vanguard weapons could come in and kind of take over those places. So in this video, what we're going to do is dive through the patch notes, discuss everything that changed regarding that, and discuss exactly what this means for the meta. So essentially the way that we're going to do this is go through the patch notes, discuss what has changed, and at the end of the video, we're going to discuss how this will affect the meta inside of Warzone now that the Vanguard weapons are there and now that the Black Ops Cold War weapons are nerfed. Before we dive into that, I just wanted to say we've only got 4 days left on the Inkslasher merch drop. It is my very first merch drop. I've never, in the 10 years that I've done YouTube, never dropped merch before. So if you want to get your hands on that inaugural merch, first link down below, get your hands on it while you still can. A bunch of it's already sold out. So like I said, get your hands on it while you can. First link down below. But without further ado, let's dive in and check out these patch notes. So first off, we have the Black Ops Cold War AK-47. This one got an initial recoil deviation increase. In other words, there is more recoil when you first start shooting this weapon. Then we have the EM2. This one got a big nerf. First of all, the neck damage multiplier decreased to 1.1 from 1.2. On top of that, the recoil magnitude increased and the recoil deviation increased as well. The main things here is this weapon is going to have more recoil, therefore being more difficult to use. Since it's a slower firing weapon, because it has more recoil, if you miss shots, it's a bigger deal with this weapon than a weapon that has a faster fire rate. So that is why this is a good nerf for this weapon. Is it enough? I don't know. Then we oddly have the Crossbow for Modern Warfare getting a buff. So the neck damage increased to 250, so you can get those one-shot kills. The upper torso damage increased to 240 and the lower torso to 220. This is a surprise one for me, but hey, they buffed the Crossbow. And by the way, they also did the exact same buff to the R1 Shadow Hunter from Black Ops Cold War, which makes it basically the exact same weapons with a couple of different stats here and there. Then we have the Modern Warfare Kar 98, one of the previous best snipers in the game. It got a flinch resistance decrease by 62%. This is one of the best snipers in the game. They're nerfing it so that the Vanguard snipers will be closer, and they're doing this by adding flinch. And to me, I don't know if that's the way to do it, but we're going to see this again in a minute. Then we have the Ballistic Knife and some other melee weapons. So the Ballistic Knife got an upper torso damage increase to 248, lower torso 225, upper arm 200, lower arm 190, upper leg 200, and lower leg 190. This doesn't make it a one-shot kill, but it makes it better. Also, there's a bunch of melee weapons that got their lunge distance increase. This includes the baseball bat, the battle axe, the cane, and the mace. Then we have the Black Ops Cold War Shotgun Bravo, aka the Gallo. This one got a nerf. The movement speed decreased by 1.2%, and the ADS movement speed decreased by 8.6%. It's an interesting one. I guess they just wanted to make the movement a little bit worse with this weapon. Then we have the Swiss K31. As far as this weapon goes from Black Ops Cold War, same as the Kar 98, a flinch resistance decrease by 62%. Based off of everything I know about this gun, I still think it's going to be the best sniper in the game. I could be wrong about this. This could make it much worse, but based off of what I know, I really highly doubt it. Then we have the OTS-9. This one got a maximum damage decrease from 31 to 30, and the headshot damage multiplier decreased to 1.33 from 1.52. This is one of the best SMGs in the game, so they're nerfing the damage on it, and they are also nerfing the headshot multiplier as well. Then we have the MP5. So first of all, the Black Ops Cold War MP5. The maximum damage decreased from 20 from 31. That is a massive, massive nerf, and the headshot damage multiplier decreased from 1.45 to 1.41. So a big nerf to this weapon, but they also touched the Modern Warfare MP5 as well. And as far as this one goes, the fire rate decreased to 0.08 down from 0.075. The sprint to fire decreased by 2.6%. And these will only affect Warzone. They will not affect the weapon in multiplayer. So basically what they did here is took the 3 best SMGs in the game, nerfed all of them so that the Vanguard ones would be more viable. And we got a couple of attachments that were touched. So the G16 2.5 times scope from Vanguard, the eye position shifted forward just to make it line up a little bit better and make it a little bit more usable. There was something a little bit off about this sight before, and I would assume that this is it. Then we have the Raider stock from Black Ops Cold War. Its movement speed modifiers got decreased by 25%. So ADS firing move speed and aim walking move speed. This means you will move 25% slower when using this attachment. Similarly, the exact same thing happened with the SAS combat stock as well. So then we have two things that were fixed in the Caldera itself. First of all, fixed collision issues with various elements across Caldera, allowing players to exploit, peek, and shoot through items. So obviously that is a problem. The second thing is they fixed an issue allowing access to items that players weren't supposed to see yet. Now, personally, I don't know what those items were, but if you found any of them, you can either tweet them at me, my Twitter's linked down below, or just let me know down in the comments. I'm curious what these things were. I didn't really see anything about them. And then the most confusing part of the patch notes is where it says, numerous changes have been made to Vanguard weapons and attachments. Names, descriptions, pros, cons, and stat bars have been updated in-game to reflect these changes. What does that mean? Why did they not just put in the patch notes everything that they changed on the weapons? So basically the Vanguard Royale and things like that we have been playing over the past couple days, a bunch of the weapons have changed, a bunch of the attachments have changed. We just don't know what. I would love to know, but they didn't put it in the notes. Now, as far as the meta and how this affects the game itself, basically they took all of the good weapons from Black Ops Cold War, gave them a bit of a nerf. They took all the Vanguard weapons, changed them up completely, and I have no idea what they did with them. But if you know anything about Warzone and you've played the previous years, you'll know that they like the current game's weapons to be the best weapons in game. So obviously we're going to have to run across these certain weapons that are the best and try out a bunch of different things. And over the next couple days, that's what I will be doing to try to find the best loadouts, to try to find the best class setups. But what we know is weapons like the EM2 and the OTS that were the best of the best have now been nerfed. What is this going to do? It's going to change up the meta and push it towards Vanguard weapons. What weapons will they be? Because they didn't explain in the patch notes basically anything about the Vanguard weapons, that is very hard to tell. But what I'm curious about is what you are using. So after you've played after this patch, let me know down in the comments what weapons you're enjoying the most, what changes you'd like to see, everything like that. Now, I brought you the patch notes. If you enjoyed the video, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, subscribe, turn notifications on. Best way to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.